Well, welcome to Around the Block on your Wednesday. I am Adria Goins, joined by D'Anthony and Jacqueline today. Happy Wednesday to you guys. Are we excited about tonight?
Yes. Can you tell?
I love the shirt. I'm loving it. This was about as close to the orange as I could get.
It's about the same color as here, so that goes.
That's all I could muster because I have been wearing so many blue and oranges that I've run out. So this is about all I've got. What about you, D'Anthony? Are you nervous, excited? What's going on in that head of yours?
I'm nervous if Wemby's playing.
Yeah. Well,
but I mean, it might be different.
Yeah.
Right.
We're talking about the Thunder taking on the Spurs tonight, game 2 of the Western Conference Finals, which happens at the Paycom Center tonight, 7:30 tip-off. You can watch it right here on News 4. The Thunder, obviously, if you are not a big fan of sports, they lost the first game on Monday because a guy for the Spurs named Wemby had quite the game, 41 points. And I just don't know. I feel he'll do well tonight. I just don't know if he's going to have the same. I think we're going to come out ready for him.
Adrian, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Say that your son is like a fan of a different team.
Okay.
Yeah, y'all both have favorite different teams.
Okay.
And your son's team's doing very well.
Uh-huh.
They're in the Western Conference Finals. Your team isn't in the finals. They're done.
Okay.
But you like one player on a team that his team's playing against. Do you tease him about it and say, "Oh, what about that Spurs game?" Are you that type of mother?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I am. I mean, I'm not hard. Like, I won't tease him hard or anything, but I'll be like, I don't know who's going to handle Wemby or whatever. You know, I would tease him about that, but I would ultimately support his team, you know, over that one player.
Oh, your son's lucky. Because my son, my mom, oh my gosh. After game 1, my mom's texting me. She was like, how about that Spurs game? And we're already in double overtime.
And your mom lives in Texas.
Yes.
So she's
a Mavs fan.
Oh, well then, yeah. What about your mom?
Huge Wemby fan, though.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. So every time I go over, I'm like, I don't like Wemby. I don't like the Spurs. Well, she loves the Spurs. She loves Wemby.
Yeah.
And after game 1, she texted me like a gift, like a win gift. And I talked about it on For the Win yesterday. Now, I sent back the smiling SGA after last year when he lost one game.
Yeah.
But that I only sent that. She didn't get it because it was like, oh, that was one game. We could win the championship still.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I think a lot of people who are Thunder fans, and I don't know, Jacqueline, if you feel the same way too, but I think a lot of people who are Thunder fans are like, it's just one game. We're fine. You know, they're got to keep we're not used to losing. That's why I think there's like a lot of sour feelings right now because we're not used to losing, but it's just one game, right?
The mom in me wants to say, it's okay, guys. It's okay. We got the loss out of the way because D'Anthony, didn't you say it was like April 12th?
Yeah.
Was the last
April 12th.
loss.
Yeah, it's been a while.
And that was against the Suns.
And all of our starters weren't playing that game.
Yeah.
We just had to get it out of the way.
Yeah, we're done now. We're done now.
Yeah.
That's it. So there's a new Thunder documentary that's going to premiere soon. Obviously, you know, they had the ESPN documentary that was really, really good. It tied into Oklahoma City. And they're actually showing a showing with the filmmakers in town today in about 30 minutes that we're going to go to and get to talk to the filmmakers of that one. But this is another one. This is a new Thunder movie that is set to premiere called Baseline. And these 3 guys right here, Cason Wallace, J-Dub, Jalen Williams, and Chet Holmgren, they're going to all be featured in this new piece, this new film that shows how they started up through high school and then made it all the way to where they are now. Basically, it explores the work habits and the expectations and the challenges that they have faced during their formative years that have gotten them to this point right now and shaped them into the players that they are. I'm really looking forward to this one. I think it's going to, right? I think it's going to be so great. They're going to have a screening at noon this or not this Sunday, June 14th, noon on Sunday, June 14th. And it's going to be at.
So I am so excited about this because it's going to be at Dead Center Film Festival in Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
And in case people don't know, this is an international film festival.
Really?
It goes on here in Oklahoma City. It's one of, I would say, probably one of the faster growing independent film festivals. And so people really compete to get their films even to be seen.
Yeah.
So
to get a viewing. So it's a big deal.
So it's kind of like Sundance type festival.
Yeah, not maybe not as broad.
We may have those types of celebrities with a Thunder documentary.
Yeah. But it's in the same realm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
just lots of independent documentaries, large scale, short scale, all types. It's a great event, and it goes on.
You've been to it, I take it.
I used to even help screen the films to help them get selected.
Oh, that's neat. So you get to preview them and say, okay, this one's good enough. This one's nice.
Jacqueline's so cool. I don't know. I learned something new.
Right. She just has she's very artsy and loves all that. And I think that is the coolest thing ever.
But she's just like SGA. She's just humble. She won't brag it. You need to brag it.
I'm so uncomfortable with it. Turning red.
Well, that's exciting though. It's a little more insight into the documentary. Thank you for sharing that. I did not know that.
That's the third documentary put out by lately?
Well, I mean, there were all you win a championship and everybody wants to follow you around. So I'm anxious to see this one again. It screens Sunday, June 14th. So very excited to see that at noon. Okay. Well, when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about a couple of more stories. Basketball is not the only thing that's going on in Oklahoma City in the coming weeks. And we want to tell you a little bit more about how you can get involved in some other things right after the break. Oh, welcome back to Around the Block. So there's a lot going on. I know there's a lot as far as sports is concerned in the metro area in the coming weeks with the College World Series and then the Thunder playoffs. There's right now, currently, it's not the College World Series, but there's regionals and super regionals going on for softball for OU and OSU, which a lot of people are interested in. Both teams doing really, really well this season. There was an adorable moment. It was probably not an adorable moment for this cute child at first, but it turned into an incredible moment. We want to show it to you. It was captured during the OU Michigan softball game. This young boy signed up to do the national anthem, right? Do we have sound by chance?
We do not have sound.
Okay. That's unfortunate because it's really, really sweet. So I'm just going to walk you through what happened here. This little boy, he's right in the middle. He signed up to sing the national anthem and he became emotional during that right there in the red, became emotional during the national anthem and stopped. And what happened next was so cool. The crowd joined in to sing the national anthem with him and finish out the anthem. It was such a good vibe because look, I was a singer growing up. I can't tell you how nerve-wracking it is. You have to overcome those fears. And look how the team approached him and told him, good job. Even he got a hug from Coach Patty Gasso, too.
Oh,
which was
Gasso, yeah.
Yeah, it was she's coming out here somewhere. Look, they all hug on him and basically tell him, you did a great job. You have no idea how that would make him feel because you're nervous, you're scared, you want to do a good job. And then maybe forgot some of the words, whatever happened. And for people, the teams and the stands to chime in and help him out, that just relieved him.
I mean, not only just singing in public, but singing the national anthem.
Yeah, and that's not an easy song.
No.
And to be so young, too. I mean, that is not an easy song. So props to all of the people in the stands at OU Michigan. Props to the players, props to the coaches, and that little kid for helping him out to get through that very scary moment. It was really sweet.
For me, it's kind of hard to hate on OU when they do something like this. It's like, you can't hate on.
No.
As much as I love Texas, I admire that, and that was an amazing
See,
moment.
right? Respect, right? Game respects game for sure. And I love that moment. There is the College World Series that's going to be coming to Devon Park here in the next couple of weeks. And if you want to go, but aren't for sure how to get there, you don't want to drive your car. Some good news here. Embark, they're bringing back their express bus service for the 2026 Women's College World Series. The bus service is going to be available from downtown Oklahoma City all the way to Devon Park and back, and they're going to go every 15 minutes to take people to and from. It begins 2 hours before the gates open, and then it continues until 1 hour after the final game ends that day, because they play several games each day. Bus fare costs $4. That's round trip, and the Women's College World Series gets underway next week, May 28th, and runs through June 5th at Devon Park.
You'll probably be seeing me on those buses.
Hey, good.
I really love OSU softball. What they dealt with in the middle of the season to now, I mean, they're doing phenomenal.
Yeah.
Just OSU, I'm going for the Cowgirls.
Okay. All right. Well, we don't know who's going to make it yet.
Yeah.
This weekend's going to play out all of the super regionals, so I'm anxious to see. In fact, I think they start tomorrow. I'm pulling for both, of course, OSU, OU, and then of the Razorbacks.
Oh, yeah.
The Razorbacks are doing pretty well. They're in a super regional, so I'm crossing my fingers that my Razorbacks get in, and we shall see.
Yeah.
But I'm ready to watch it. We love college softball, and we love the Women's College World Series, and I know that we'll be down there too, so I'm super excited. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about a new bill that was signed into law recently that may involve kids and their summer activities, and we'll explain why it's so important next. What do you guys think about self-driving cars? What are your thoughts?
Love the idea. I wouldn't. I get
Scary
nervous.
a little bit?
I get nervous.
Yeah. What about you, Jacqueline?
I have not had an opportunity to ride in one yet, but I'm open to it, especially for the public transportation aspect.
Okay.
Uber,
All right.
the Waymo cars.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are those little bitty ones that look like you can almost see through?
They're pretty tiny. They're pretty tiny.
The reason why I ask is because there's self-driving commercial vehicles, trucks particularly, that could be coming to Oklahoma very soon. Of course, they passed a law back in 2022 that allows this to happen, and Oklahoma could be seeing it within the next month. In fact, they showed off these commercial trucks, which is like a semi that would be self-driving. The Oklahoma Highway Patrol showed them off and let everybody know what they would look like. They look just like essentially a regular semi. But they're outfitted with all these gadgets. They say, of course, this law, 2022, whenever they officially put this in place, so it's been 4 years. So they've been working to get this up and running. And these have cameras and sensors, and they'll be able to fully drive without anyone steering. It also allows OHP to put in some training by using calls on the number side of the car. Like they'll be able to call the side of the cab, the number on the side of the cab, which allows them to pull them over if there's any problems. So they actually have to physically call a number to pull it over, which I thought was interesting. Yeah. So like say if there's problems or it's speeding or whatever, and OHP gets behind one, they have to call the number, and that lets the electronics know they need to pull over and stop.
So is someone like are they in?
It's like a call center is what they would call essentially, or some kind of maybe like computer system that would do that. No one's in there. No one's in there.
Oh, okay.
And so they think that by next month they're going to have the driver in there next month when they roll these out, but eventually they're going to wean that off to where it's fully autonomous. So, which I think is very interesting. I don't mind it so much for the smaller, like the Ubers and things like that.
Right.
This is a huge vehicle, like tons, you're talking tons and tons of materials and weight. And that kind of scares me because if something was to go wrong and they would, crash into, God forbid, hope that never happens. But that's the one thing that scares me a little bit about these. I mean, I'm all for testing out and try it. I know it's the wave of the future. but they're just a little, they're
Like,
a little big.
yeah, I've seen those clips where like with the Waymo getting stuck in traffic, or like it'll just stop in the middle of the highway.
Yeah, or run a red light.
So I'm with you. I'm a bit nervous about that part, but I get it. It's new.
I mean, I know that's what's going to happen eventually. I mean, I hate to say that because, you know, the truck driving industry is such a popular and high demand industry. And they're very vital to our economy. And, you know, I'm worried about this see, you know, cause jobs to go away. And I don't want that to happen. So, you know, but that's another aspect of it. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
My family, they're defensive drivers, but you know, if someone cuts them off, you know, they usually like say something. So I just imagine my family traveling down here. They're like trying to like, what do you? And then they see nothing, and they just like.
I know, it'd blow your mind, right? Like, there's nobody driving that thing. What is going
yelling
on?
At no one.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm the problem.
Right. All right. So this story is very heartbreaking. It was incredibly hard when it first happened, and it's still very hard to comprehend. But last summer, we all know about the very tragic Camp Mystic situation in Texas, the historic flooding that killed 27 children and several adults. It was just unfathomable and very hard to see when it happened, and it's still hard to see even those images today. Well, there is a bill aimed at improving safety of camps in Oklahoma, and it has been signed into law by Governor Kevin Stitt. You know, of course, we're just closing out the session. The law, it'll go into effect in November. It will require camps and outdoor programs like Falls Creek, several other Camp Classen to undergo a hazard assessment with the area's emergency management and then create an emergency action plan for things like this, severe weather. It also requires camps to have 2 ways to receive weather alerts and internal communication systems, as well as a way to contact guardians when situations like this arise. When I was a kid, I went to a lot of overnight camps or to church camp where we would stay a week at a really fun, very similar to Camp Mystic. I have not let my kids do that yet because I'm scared. Jacqueline, I know you had a similar situation with your own child.
So my kiddo, he is a 5th grader, and we finished school this week, and he will do 2 weeks at overnight camp in Arkansas, in Little Rock, Arkansas, called Ferncliff. And it is your typical sleep in a bunk bed, to the lake sports, traditional overnight camp. And he'll do it for 2 weeks. And last year, they had tornadoes in the area while my kiddo was at camp. And I didn't know about it when it happened, but after the fact, he's telling me they had to be woken in the middle of the night because the sirens, and go to the tornado shelter, and all the kids were crying.
Well, yeah.
He was like, everyone was crying.
Yeah. I mean, it's a scary situation.
But
yeah.
I love that this you said parents will even be notified. And I just think that's great.
Yeah. Because I think
reassurance.
Were you notified by the camp when this happened, or days later?
You know, it was not in the moment. I did not know in the moment my child was taking shelter.
Okay.
But I say that I had 100% faith in the situation of his safety, because they have an immense safety plan, checks and balances. But, you know, it's nerve-wracking to send your kiddo to camp.
Yeah, because you never know. You never know. And that's, I think, one thing which I know that, I mean, my kids need their own independence, and they need to learn that and how important it is. But it's scary. It is super, super scary. And when I was a kid, I never thought about how scary it could be for my parents. Not once did I think about that.
No.
I was just so excited for church camp.
Yeah.
To spend the night on the Buffalo River and float the river and do all these fun things. I wasn't thinking about my safety or anything like that. But I think situations like last year puts it into perspective. You know, those are conversations you need to have with your kids. And those are things that you need to know about the place where you're sending your children.
Ask the questions.
Yeah. And so I'm glad that the state is taking initiative to realize that these are things that these organizations need to do in order to provide a level of security and safety for not just the kids, but the parents too. So, because that's Scary.
Good job.
All right, we're going to take a quick break and then we will be back with your bizarre holidays. Well, I know we've had a lot of rain here recently, and we're going to have a whole lot more over the next week, but there are still some areas in Oklahoma, particularly western Oklahoma and the Kansas area, who are dealing with wildfires. Oklahoma is actually sending some help to Kansas because they've been hit especially hard with an outbreak of wildfires. They're sending a task force there made up of 32 firefighters and 15 brush trucks from different departments across the state. They're heading to the southern Kansas line to help fight those fires. Lightning apparently sparked a couple of those grass fires there that have spread out of control. And we do know that about 100,000 acres are burning, and they're going to do 12-hour shifts before they head back home. And we're hoping that they are okay while they're there and safe. And we're grateful for what they are doing and helping out everybody. So we have very quickly about 30 seconds to tell you a little bit about today's bizarre holidays. Isa Doolittle Day.
Oh,
Eliza. Sorry, Eliza.
Oh, Eli. Oh,
Eliza.
I'm bad with it.
International Red Sneaker Day.
I'm wearing red sneakers.
National Be a Millionaire Day.
I'm not a millionaire.
But do you like National Juice Slush Day?
Ooh, I like National Pick Strawberries Day. That's always fun.
National Rescue Dog Day.
National Streaming Day.
Turn Beauty Inside Out Day.
Weights and Measurements Day.
And World Metrology Day.
All right. There you go. Those are your bizarre holidays. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.